The Lambeosaurus TLC is now available on the public test branch for Path of Titans. This obviously introduces the Lambeosaurus Rework, which is quite substantial. So here we have the model of the Lambeosaurus Rework, and it looks so much better than the old model. Now I'm going to try and get a before and after for you guys to have a look at, so you can compare the before and after for each subspecies. This is Porcedens, and this is plus 20% faster cooldowns. This is the new model. The old one I would have showcased a bit before. Now we move into Lambeo, which is plus 10% swim speed, which once again a very nice change to the model. As you can see, it gets a lot thinner, and overall I think the head gets a little bit thicker as well. The biggest change is the crest as well. Then you get Magna Christus, which is plus 10% stamina recovery, which is actually quite substantially different. It doesn't have the spikes running along the back, and the head is a lot bulkier, and overall the build, I'd say, is a little bit less bulky than the standard Porcedens species. Anyways, let's showcase it in game, the baby and everything like that. So here we have the baby model of the Lambeosaurus TLC. This obviously looks a little bit better than the other one, the standard one that you get on the live branch currently. In fact, no, it's a lot better. Baby skin has changed as well, ever so slightly, and looks very, very good overall. Now, the one thing that I'm very curious about is to have the sounds changed and all that jazz. So what I'm going to do a before and after for all the sounds and showcase them for you. So in case they've changed and you want to hear that before and after. And that is the baby Lambeosaurus calls. Now, one thing that I do want to point out, this thing has stance switching, and stance switching is instead of the crouch. So, as you can tell here, instead of crouching now, when I press the crouch button, which for me is control, you do a hind limb stance instead. And when you want to sprint again, you just go into your normal stance, so to say. But technically, this thing sprints on its hind limbs anyways. The remodel for the Lambeosaurus is probably the best part about this, as well as obviously the stance switching as well, where your camera gets higher and all that jazz. But I do think the best thing that we've got here is this brand new model. It looks insanely good. It's absolutely beautiful, and yeah, it's my favorite part about this rework. And the skins look great as well. We'll be talking about them in a moment though. There are some big changes when it comes to abilities, because this thing has got a brand new set of abilities as described by the developers on the PTB changelog. So let's go ahead and showcase all of them off. But first, let's showcase and get a comparison of all the calls. Lambeosaurus gets a lot of new stuff here, and a lot of new sensors at that. Firstly, you get 2 sensors here, Lone Survivor, which we all know and love, and then you get Musician, which is 20% faster vocal ability cooldowns, which is something that I can't wait to show you guys all about. For the front limb, you get the Kick attack, and then we move into your Metabolism, you get Herbivore and Forager, great abilities there. You get 2 new hides, I'm pretty sure. These are Protector and Healing Presence, but you also have your standard Streamlined and Resilient scales. Healing Presence basically is where resting or sleeping will increase all group members' healing by 25% when within a 10-meter radius of you. Has no effect when in combat, but for Protector, it increases armor by 10% to all Camptosauruses, Struthiomimuses, Kentrosaurus, or Pachycephalosaurus within 20 meters, which is very, very interesting, specifically targeting the smaller dinosaurs. For your legs, you get strong legs, you get long distance runner, which was standard before, and you get braced legs, which is new. It ignores uphill movement decrease and increases speed when moving downhill by 4%. After that, you move to your back limb, where you get webbed feet, which is standard the same as before. For tail, you get armored tail, paddle tail, and your tail attack, which are the same as before as well. But finally, this is something that's brand new to Path of Titans, and it's the configuration for their vocal abilities. You've got 3 different categories here: combat calls, healing calls, and survival calls. Each of these have different things, and well, there's 3 different abilities per. For combat calls, these are these. Call to Arms, which applies a 10% increase to damage increase for all group members within 30 meters for 45 seconds. Rallying Horn, which applies a 10% armor increase for all group members within 30 meters for 45 seconds. And Blaring Cry, which all enemies within 30 meters deal 15% reduced damage for 30 seconds, which is massive. Then you have a bunch of healing calls. You get your Healing Call, Primal Mend, which are 2 that we know about before because it already had it. Then you've got Rejuvenating Roar as well, which all group members within 30 meters heal status effects twice as quickly for 30 seconds. Then after that, you get your survival calls, which you get Hustle, which we all know and love. Then you get Guiding Beacon, which are all group members within 75 meters receive significantly reduced damage for 2 minutes. However, affected group members will deal no damage for the duration of this buff, which is very, very interesting. So they'll deal no damage, but they'll get a massive reduction of damage. Then you get Slow Digestion, which all group members within 75 meters receive 50% slower food and water drain for 10 minutes. What's interesting here, you pick one of them, you confirm it, and then you basically can choose any of the combat calls. But if you press, obviously, for the combat call, it gives you the 3 to choose from, and you can pick any here while you're in this option menu. Do bear in mind, of course, while you're in this menu, you can't actually do any attacks or anything. You have to select your call and do it. So let's go ahead and showcase all of these calls off, because I think they're going to be really, really cool for you all to see. So, when it comes to the skins for the rework of the Lambeosaurus, there are actually some that have gotten some major tweaks. There's 3 actually. The default skin, the swamp skin, and the bard skin all got changes when it came to the skins. And this is the new default skin right here. A very, very pretty skin. Here is the before new old default skin, and here's the after with the new default skin, which is this one. Here's some patterns of it. It's very, very nice. I personally really like the pattern differentiations on it. Then you move to Jungle, which is a very, very pretty skin. It always will be one of the prettiest skins on the Lambeosaurus in my eyes. It is gorgeous, and this one didn't change all too much. Picture is next, another one that didn't change all too much, but the main detailing here is, well, what it looks like on the changed model. Same as Blue Crest, another beautiful skin, and on the new model it looks absolutely gorgeous, just 10 times better than it did before. Swamp is one that received a major change to its counterpart on the live branch on the old Lambeosaurus. So here it is with patterns 1, 2 and 3 as the default and before, and here it is as the after, and it looks so much better than it did before. Next we have Blue Tone, which is a gorgeous skin. It always will be a gorgeous skin, and yeah, it's one of those skins, very, very pretty. Koi is next, and this one definitely pops more on the oranges. Although the pattern differentiation isn't the biggest or most notable, it's mainly just the blotches on the darker orange colour. However, it looks great. Backer also gets some changes. Slanted gets minor changes. And then Bard. This one is one that got overhauls as well. So here is the before of Bard, and here is the after. Now we've got the after on the screen. This is what it looks like on the Lambeosaurus Rework. Then you obviously get your albino skin and your melanistic skin as well, which I think look a lot better on the new model for Lambeosaurus. Now everybody, that is the Lambeosaurus Rework. Technically, I know I still need to do a gameplay showcase of all the calls and everything. What I'm hoping to do is go into it on Tuesday on a live stream and showcase the massive changes on the public test branch, because there's been some huge and substantial changes. Anyways guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know your thoughts about the Lambeosaurus TLC in the comments down below. If you want to check out another video, I recommend this one. If you're interested on what's happening on the flip side of Dinosaur Games, where we spoke about the Isle's latest development update, which is obviously this game's biggest rival. Anyways guys, I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Have a great day. Peace.